Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Humble Servant Homestead. Today, I am out here. Just want to give you all a update down here at the bottom garden after that Artic freeze. Okay, we did went through a heavy freeze here on the homestead, guys. The temperature dropped down to 9 degrees, and like to say, it feels like -6 outside. And so I just want to go through and show you all a bit of the damage that happened while that frost lasted for at least about 4 to 5 days. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about the damage and everything else like that. But right here, where we had the corn planted last year, just want to talk a little bit about what we did in this area right here. So all that corn stalk and the beans vine and all that different kind of stuff, we chopped it up with our lawnmower so it can break down over the winter time. Okay, so pretty much that is what's going on with this bed right here.
So you mowed it in?
Well, yes, I mowed it in, and leaving it to let it sit and break down, and that will also helps to build your soil. Because remember, all they're eating. So you got to remember all that nutrients that your plant took up out of the ground. There is a lot of that nutrient still inside of the stalks and all that different kind of stuff. And so cutting it up and leave it back in the spot helps to break down and helps to build organic matter. In turn, putting back a little bit maybe of even nitrogen and different kind of stuff that it took up out of the ground. All right, so come on along, guys. We're going to head on up here to where we actually had our okra. And so right here is where we had the okra planted. Now, what I have been doing, I came on in here. I noticed some of the weeds in here was starting to go back to seed, guys. Now, you all asked me, how do I control the weeds in my garden? So what I did, I seen them start to go to seed. They're putting on flowers, and so I came on in and I took those on out. But what I'm going to go ahead and do in this area right here to help to bring back some nutrients and stuff like that, I will come on in with some chicken manure, also some leaves that fell off the trees that we chopped up and had put aside. So that's what's going to happen with this area right here. I should have done it in the fall. Yes, I should have done it, but guys, you have to understand, here on the homestead, it's bits and different pieces that we're, moving and putting together and all that different kind of stuff. It's not really a big issue if you didn't cover it, but it's good when you cover it so that way that frost don't come in and mess up your microbes and all that different kind of stuff in the dirt. And you have to also understand that in the winter time when the dirt gets frozen, it shrinks and it expanding and all that different kind of stuff. So with you putting something to cover it over helps to keep it real nice and saving your microbes in the dirt. So we're going to come on in and take care of that. So come on along. We're going to move on up to where we had the veggies planted. Okay, and as y'all can see right here, everything is burnt up. So this is where we had our turnips planted. Pretty much it was just a cover crop in this area here, slash coming out, harvesting some leaves to cook and eat. But as y'all can see, it is gone. It is gone. Frost came in and burned it up. It's toasted, guys. But what we're going to do, we're going to leave this right here. Okay, we're going to leave it, let it go ahead and break back down into the soil, and then in the springtime we'll come on in and cultivate it all in. So in a way, it's not so much of a loss because the nutrients and all that is still, that organic matter is still going to go ahead and get to break back down into the soil. And then even as y'all can see right here, we still have some of the greenery trying to come back. So, hey, we just leave it and let it do its thing. All right, so as y'all can see, no turnips. Turnips are gone. Now, right over here, of course, we spoke about it before. In these two rows right here, we planted beets, and nothing happens for us with the beets. Now, these weeds right here came up from out of nowhere, guys. I even have a few bits of chickweed in here as well. Now, I'm going to leave this right here just like this, okay? Because it's covering the dirt. It's acting as a cover crop. So once I see it now start to go to seed, what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply come on in with my tarp, cover it over, because I don't want them to go to seed. Because what happens when you let these things go to seed, you will have to deal with them again next year in this area here. So keep in mind, if you have a lot of weeds coming up in your garden, you see them starting to go to seed, if you don't want them to come back and plague your garden next year, simply go ahead and cover them up so you don't have that problem. All right, so just come on down. We'll talk a little bit more about the damage. Come on. This right here was broccoli we had planted in this row. Now remember, the rabbits came in and ate down quite a bit. Well, pretty much all of them. He came in and ate down, and so of course the frost came in and took them out as well. All right, so this right here is history, guys. Now here is some chickweed that I was telling you about. They have not started to go to seed yet, so hey, you know, let it go ahead. And in a way, of course, it was super cold out here. It was freezing. But if you look at a lot of this chickweed and all that different kind of stuff, look at that. The frost killed a lot of this weed, which in a way, it's not a bad thing on my side, because I don't want them to go to seed. All right. So over here, guys, as you all remember, I brought y'all in when I planted these cabbage here. As y'all can see, they are burnt up. The heads are burnt up on these cabbage. Now what we did came on down and do, all the bigger heads, them that was close to being ready, we did came on in and cut quite a bit of them out. Well, not quite a bit. We did came in and took out the ones them that had some real nice size heads on them, and we cooked them. And I am telling you, those cabbage was so delicious, so delicious. But what I'm going to go ahead and do, just like with the turnips there, I'm going to leave these cabbage right here as well to go ahead and break down back into the soil. Now I could have come out and cut them and feed them to the chickens, but I'm going to let them go ahead and break down. And you can even smell the gas that is coming off of these cabbage, guys, because they're breaking down, you know. So it's pretty much history. Now what we could have done as well, we could have come on in and we could have covered a lot of these cabbage, guys. You know, we could have covered them. We could have came in maybe with some plastic or something like that, some PVC pipe, put over each row and cover them. But you know what? Hey, it's okay. We had a lot of other things here that we was kind of taking care of on the homestead. Now that is not an excuse to let food go to waste. That's definitely not an excuse. But nonetheless, in the springtime, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make up for the loss here. All right. So come on down. We're gonna talk a little bit about the collard greens and how those survive the Arctic freeze. Come on. Okay, and so here we are where we have these Georgia collards planted. Now, as y'all can see, there is a bit of damage on these collards here, guys. Frost did burn them, but right here inside of the crown, if you can see right here, inside of the crown of this Georgia collards, it survived. Okay, now the beauty with these Georgia collards here, you can come on in, pluck the outside leaves off, and give them a second chance. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come on down, clean up all this dead stuff, and I'm going to fertilize. Now what I'm going to come on in with is some fish emulsion. Simple reason why I want these right here to get a quick feed. Okay, so that is where I will come on in with that 511 on these right here to have them to bounce back. All right, now the older ones that we had planted here in this row, as you can see, they're finally on their last leg. I guess they're like, hey, look, I feed you all long enough. Now it's time for me to give up. Okay, and so as you can see, that's what's going on with them. Now, just to talk a little bit here about these red cabbage. We do have some burn here on these leaves, as y'all can see. But after coming in and examine the middle or the heart of this cabbage, it actually looks pretty good, guys. Look at that. It actually looks pretty good. Now, you know, don't really have to worry much about the outside leaves, because the leaves start folding from the inside, okay, and cabbage grow out. So not really worrying about these outside leaves. What I'm going to do, also come and give them some feeding, take off all that dead leaves and stuff like that. Now, of course, our carrots over here that we had planted, those did not survive the freeze either. They pretty much got burnt up, and as y'all can see, a lot of the weeds and stuff like that. So I did have some weeds in here that I had to come on out and clean, which I did one cleaning, but we still had some weeds in here that is pretty much burned up now. And so pretty much that is it right there for the bottom garden, guys. Now what I'm going to do pretty soon, I will be coming in, well, probably not right now, maybe when we get closer to spring, I'm going to come back on in with some chicken manure and put it all in this area, except for where I'm going to be planting my sweet potatoes. I'm not going to put any chicken manure in that area there. Don't want too much nitrogen for my sweet potato, guys. Keep that in mind. Too much nitrogen give you a whole bunch of growth, a whole bunch of foliage, and so we're not going to put any right there. But I do have a plan for that area, a new method where I'm going to be planting our sweet potato, which we planted them like that before, and we're going to go ahead with that method again. And so just so we can have more slips planted in the ground and even get a bigger harvest like we did last year. But nonetheless, that is it right there. I just want to give y'all a update on what's going on here on the homestead right now at this moment. Guys, we like the content y'all got. Of course, like we say, we like to bring the good, the bad, and the ugly to you all to let y'all see what is going on, okay? Just go ahead, throw that thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. And I just want to say thanks for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. And as always, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all out there. And also remember, keep a smile on your face. Have a blessed day.